Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at this fan game of EToH. It's called Remove Tower Replay. Basically what this game is about is that you can replay deleted / removed towers from EToH. Which, to be fair, EToH has removed a bunch of towers in its lifespan. And yeah, I'm excited to check it out, so let's get started. Alright, here we are, we're in the game now. Okay, so let me just read the sign. Welcome to the Remove Tower Replay. Here you can play Remove Towers from EToH. Items are disabled. Alright. Ooh, there's practice mode. That's cool. Okay, so I have done my fair share of playing this game, and I have, done a few entry towers here, but we're gonna start with the easiest one so far. It's called Tower of Slight Unhappiness, but it's amateur. Oh, it's effortless as well. Alright, so let's begin. So, reading its wiki page, the reason this tower was removed was because it was just deemed as, lazy and repetitive by the creator of this tower. Which, to be fair, looking at the first, 10 jumps, and looking above, yeah, it's probably gonna be like that for the entire tower. Anyways, more fun facts about this tower was that this was the only tower to ever be rated as effortless. There are no other towers ever rated this difficulty. Not even Tower of Genesis in Purgatorio. Which, honestly, I find quite interesting, because, so far, the gameplay feels about the same as Genesis, maybe a little bit harder, but I think Genesis is just, more technical. This is just more mega fun obby, 2,000 stages, epic, cool, wowzers, yada yada. But yeah, so far, this is, what I would expect from, a generic obby. This doesn't really feel representative of, EToH. Because, with Tower of Anger, it's a tower that feels very representative of EToH. It has its distinct, obby style that no other obby in Roblox can really compare to it. At the time when it was made, it was pretty much the only, quote-unquote, easy obby of its kind. This, though, this doesn't really feel like an EToH tower, more just so, an obby, you know? Generic, standard, run-of-the-mill obby you see everywhere. I really like the song choices, though. Honestly, the song choices of this tower kind of slap. I've always been a big sucker for, Nintendo OSTs. Sad that EToH won't allow them anymore. But yeah, I just think it's, pretty fun so far. I'm pretty sure you can tell with this tower that it just kind of repeats the same, type of jump over and over. It's just, jumping from one block to another. Jumping from one block to another. Walking, climbing, yada yada. It's just what, why? This is, see, look at this for example. This is just ball, 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 ball. Have some variety, man. Easy towers are supposed to be, I don't know. I know easy towers are supposed to be easy, but, there's just so much better ways of incorporating easy gameplay into your tower. Even Tower of Madness, honestly, did it better than this. Alright, we're almost there. Okay, this section is kind of hard. For effortless. What is that? That feels very failable. Especially since it's not netted, and yet that tightrope thing was. That tightrope on floor 9. Kind of ridiculous, not gonna lie. And there we go. That's Tower of Slight Unhappiness done. Good job. Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, so far, the tower was decent, but, it's just kind of boring. I definitely understand why it was removed. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, so for this next one, we're gonna be playing Steeple of Fading Memories by Jupiter 5. I'm not calling it Karen Ryan, bro. So, the whole premise of the steeple, from what I read on the wiki, was that it's supposed to get, more creepy and, supposed to represent the 6 stages of dementia. Which is understandable because, this
tower
was literally made during the caretaker craze. Oh, that was pretty bad. I don't understand what those conveyors are for, bro. What the heck? Alright. That was just a swag run I did. What the heck? I didn't even realize. But yeah, I can tell why this was removed. This is probably just, too sensitive and, too touchy of a subject to be included in EToH. So yeah, I totally understand its removal. Alright, let's get the key. But yeah, the songs so far are just getting slightly more and more creepy. But it just feels a little mellow so far, so it's probably gonna get worse and worse when we go on. Wow, nearly are you half though this tower. Keep up the G work. So as you can see, they kind of reuse some parts of other towers. This is supposed to be representative of that one section in Tower of Anger. Okay, fantastic. I don't even know what that says. But yeah, with the signs, you can kind of see that it's like you're starting to forget like everything and how you like who you are and what this is supposed to be. So look at this. Like this is just like completely incoherent. The music's getting a little like quieter too. But yeah, this tower is just kind of gross. I completely understand why he was just given the boot. Also, that is a difficulty spike. What the heck? Alright, floor 5. This ST Lou. Alright, man. Whatever you say. But I don't really understand the kinda disturbing label. I think the only thing disturbing about this tower was the fact that it was made in the first place. I'm honestly just waiting for this to end. Cause like, this just feels just like really disgusting to play through. But yeah, so far, the gameplay is like, whatever. I know it's not supposed to be like gameplay oriented, more so like thematic oriented. But even then, theme-wise, it's still like not that great. Like, I can excuse the difficulty spikes if it was like actually a good and cohesive tower, but no, it just feels kind of insensitive. There's no gameplay at all. All the signs are just like blanked out too. Alright, let's just finish the tower. I like how the wind room just like is the same for every tower you beat here. It's just like, good job. Alright, let's move on. Alright, the next tower we're gonna do is called Tower of Traps. And no, I'm not talking about that version of Tower Traps, like the one that's in Summit of Memories. I'm talking about the one that was made in 2021 by Lightsynth. Alright, let's check it out. So one thing to note about this tower was that it wasn't really considered more of a revamp, more so like an update. So think about like, I don't know, Tower of Heck being updated or True Skill being updated. So the main thing they corrected with this tower was that they just indicated more traps, and they also added more traps. And actually, the reason this tower was removed was pretty funny. It was because the creator of the original tower, Paramox, just like asked for it to be removed. He didn't really even have a part in the tower. He just like wanted it gone, and they reverted it back to the original version. They kept a lot of parts from the original tower traps. The one thing they still at least retained was its annoyingness. Alright, we are on floor 4, and we immediately just start off with the conveyor. That is just fantastic. Wait, I think I see a swag route. Swag route, let's go! Okay, so this trap is like kind of funny. So you think you can jump onto that next platform, but instead... Why they chose to do that, I have no idea. Blame Lightsynth, I didn't create this. Oh yeah, here's the absolute worst offender of a trap in existence. So if you climb up this truss, look at that. That is a conveyor, and it pushes you off. See that? No, go back at this. Look at that! That is abhorrent! How do you, like, this is so much... They didn't really change much about floor 5. But yeah, the one thing I think people didn't really like about this revamped version was that it just spammed traps like everywhere, instead of like improving on like the indication of the original tower. Sure, there's like indication, but it's not good indication in this version. It's just substituting that for more traps. Cause like we complain about revamps, such as like Tower of Anger, right? The new Tower of Anger. But I feel like this revamp is just kind of like the ugly duckling of all revamps. Nobody likes it. Not even a single person. I can see some people liking the original Tower of Anger, and like... I just failed that. Are you kidding me? See, look at this part. This part was originally just like 1 studs, which was fine because it didn't really have much traps, but this just feels so overkill. Like, look at this. Does this look fun to you? Certainly does not to me, man. Oh yeah, by the way, we have another pesky trap incoming. It's this. What is even the point? Okay, I honestly did not see that trap right there. That freaking scared me, man. What the heck? But yeah, so far, this tower definitely improved on some stuff that the original Tower of Traps did, but it's still not great. I think this still falls very flat on its face in terms of revamp quality. I do like how it nerfed some of the choke points in this tower, but it's still not a fun experience. I feel like they were more focused on, like, adding more traps and indicating stuff rather than, like, actually making this a fun experience. Are you kidding? But do you see what I mean when I say that this tower is, like, annoying? It's just, like, not fun to play in the slightest. Okay, so this part's kind of funny. It's also another trap section, so you see that part? But then if you jump up, you have to kind of just, like, guess where it is. Last part, it also does it again. This thing's also pretty funny. This is one of the changes that I also really like. Final question. Using that all of you got, are you ready for the finale? Let's do TIS. Let's do this. This thing just makes you fall. Jump up here. I'm gonna do another skip. I can't be bothered. Honestly, I kind of like this final floor. It's like one of the only floors that I actually like in this revamp. I think the other floors just kind of fall flat on their face. But this kind of feels pretty solid compared to the other ones. Last part. Get to conveyor. Oh my gosh, the wind pad's in here! I'm so excited! Alright, jump down. And hey, we did it! We beat it again. Alright, let's do it the next one. Okay, so the last tower we're gonna do is Citadel of Laptop Splitting Unnerfed. Yeah, did you know Coles was originally Rem? It starts off pretty similar to normal Coles, so I'm just gonna jump towards when it actually gets changed. So, this is the part where, like, a bunch of stuff gets changed. So, you know the sign that says this will catch you if you fall above? Well, get ready, because you actually are gonna need it later on the run. Okay, this section that's coming up right here is just like... If you've seen Logan ISL's video, I'm pretty sure you know what's gonna happen. Yes! This was a real part. Okay, moving on. Alright, we're finally past that stupid spinny section. Let's move on to this part. Okay, so this is an important thing to note. This red line no longer deactivates just this button. It deactivates every single button. Okay, I didn't mean to go in first words, but literally, every single button. So, you get no button progress. You're practically cooked if you fail this. Okay, so funny thing about this part, that spinner is can collide true. So you actually have to dodge that thing. So if you jump up, but I'd prefer to just ride it out. And then the ending is practically the same. Button deactivator. Okay, we're on floor 9. So this part in floor 9 also received a bunch of changes. Most notably, you get dance clips. But because I'm such an elite Chad, we're just gonna do these the better way. Like, who really cares about this kind of stuff? Alright, so we finally passed those dance clips, so let's just get back up here. You only have 15 seconds for this button, so you actually have to run. And you're not given a wall either, so you have to run. It's like, RUN, 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 run. I believe this part was also buffed. Like, these jumps feel way further than they're supposed to. Alright, so here we are, floor 10. Okay, so the thing about floor 10 was that it wasn't changed all that much, but there is one teeny tiny section that I really want to talk about. And that being this thing over here. Challenge number 2. Do fast. Okay, one thing to note, if you fail this outside, you're cooked. Like, absolutely cooked. There's no saving yourself. You're over the void. Specifically, what makes this part bad is this part. What the hell even is this? What the hell? Like, genuinely, why? See, I just barely landed that. Holy crap. And then you can just jump up here. Jump, jump, jump. Get the button. And yeah, that is the scariest part in the entirety of this tower. Like, what the hell is Juke even thinking, man? Alright. I'm gonna change the song. Okay, so here we are at floor 11. So, the inside wasn't really changed all that much. It's mainly what's on the outside that has changed. So I'll just skip over to that. It's this part. Right over here. Let me just go up here. Yeah. You see how if I jump, I will not make it? I have to do a momentum jump. So, I have to, like, time this. As you can see, I just failed that, so I'm just gonna cut back to when I get back up there. Alright, there we go. That is a scary jump. That jump is absolutely bat crap, bro. Like, why, man? Alright. Welcome to heck. I am not ready for heck, if this is what I'm facing at the moment. Okay, so this jump. This jump is the reckoning of all souls, man. I have failed this jump when grinding this, like, a billion times. Thank God it was nerfed. So my strategy, honestly, it's kind of weird. So you go into the dark part of the stud, turn until you jump out. That is insane. That thing is so crazy. That jump is harder than some jumps I've seen in Terrifyings. I'm not even kidding you, man. Yeah, the stuff Juke was making back in 2018 is nothing to compare to what modern builders are making today. Like, what even was that part? Oh yeah, and speaking of bad parts, we're incoming on next another pretty bad one. Whatever the hell this thing is. Again, this is just like, I would say that's the same distance as a 12.5 unclimbable. That is just... Alright, I finally passed that stupid outside, so we're about to income floor 13 right now. Just give me a moment. Just flick up. Flick, please. Just flick. Alright, we're about to income floor 13, so let's just get on this button and... Why did I say button? Balloon. Go back up. I cannot be bothered to do this fully legit. I just want to get this over with. This has, like, been hell to record. I've been recording for, like, 2 hours at this point. What the hell was that? There we go. Alright, so welcome to floor 13. I hate this floor so much. Okay, so the thing about this floor is that it's mostly the same kind of gameplay, except there's 3 jumps. 3 jumps that make this floor, like, absolutely torturous to play. Okay, so the first part, right here, these are no longer 9 studs. First up, 10 stud wraparound. Not too bad. Next one, a 10 stud wraparound raised by 1. And the last jump you have to do, a 10 stud wraparound raised by 2. Yeah, I literally have to pull out this dance strat. That is how insane this thing gets, man. Alright, we're at floor 14. It's got a lot of unique and painful to go... What? Wait, hang on. I'm gonna mute this. It's got a lot of unique and painful to go through obstacles. Enjoy! Okay, so this was another difference that I noticed. This, like, shoving platform over here, the safety net for this thing is so small now. You basically have to time it, like, perfectly. So this thing basically becomes RNG. So that's why I just, like, doing that. I cannot be bothered to do that shoving thing. That thing just looks RNG as hell. This trampoline section. This thing's, like, kind of weird. It's like a teleporter net, kind of, which I appreciate, but it just kind of comes off as a little janky. Got a zip line up here. Jump. Alright, floor 15. Many challenges have been thrown at you. Many hard obstacles have been thrown at you. But you still prevail after all of them. That's it. Time to die. So conceptually, this floor is basically the same. You still have that invisible button shenanigans and that really awful truss jump over there. Except one thing that stands out. This thing is thicker. Way thicker than anything seen in the actual coals. And these are 12 studs. On the left. Are you enjoying yourself so far? This conveyor is unindicated, so you basically have to guess when you're gonna jump. So, like, here. Jump! Oh my gosh, did you see how close that was? That was pretty crazy. Alright. The floor is kill bricks. The kill brick makes you lose a lot of progress. Ugh, that's fun. So one thing to note about this section, I tried this, I'm gonna roll the clip. This thing does not send you to floor 12. it sends you back to floor 6. So yeah, if you fall, you're basically losing like 40 minutes of progress, so enjoy yourself. Don't fall. Luckily, this last part is like super easy. It's just as easy as the actual poles. Alright, so you don't get an 11 stud. It's a 12 stud. Let's just get this thing over with. Oh my god, dude. Finally. Oh, man. Alright, so those are basically all the towers that I have to show for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe consider checking this game out. There are a lot more towers that I haven't really explored in this video, so if you like anything that you saw in this video, feel free to check the game out. Alright, that's it. Bye, guys.